Assalamu alaikum. My name is Danish Ahmed and I am surveyor in Department of Antiquities and Archaeology. We are here at Chanhu Daro.
This documentary presents the results of the fieldwork carried out at Chanhu Daro, Shahid Benazirabad district, Sindh in January to March 2023 by the French Archaeological Mission.
So, I start with trench number 7. Here the objective was to verify if was an occupation between Mount 1 and Mount 2, since previously was believed that this area was an empty zone. So as a major result, of course, we have the discovery of the levels which are immediately under the slope and of Mount 1 and under the flat surface at the foothill of the mound, meaning that this area was occupied during the second and third period of Indus civilization. Therefore, this indicates us that the mound of the first period was much larger as previously believed, and this proves also that the occupation of the second period settled itself once the mound of the first period was eroded. So we have identified also levels of the Zakir period, which is considered to be a third period of the Indus civilization, that were already documented on the lowest part of the previous year excavation, trench number 5. So it seems that the Zakir occupation, which it was supposed to be only on the top of the mounds at the site of Chanhu Daro, now is being located in some other areas.
In the Indus Basin in cooperation with the Directorate General of Antiquities and Archaeology, Culture, Tourism, Antiquities and Archives Department Government of Sindh. Photogrammetry is essential in archaeology because it enhances the precision, efficiency, and accessibility of site and artifact documentation, contributing to both research and conservation efforts. Today our guest is Mr. David Sarmiento Castillo, co-director of the project, and he is an archaeologist.
So, Trench 6 this year, the objective was again to identify levels of the beginning of the Indus civilization of the first period. Then, based on the information gathered the previous year in Trench 5, we started a surface exploration at the west of Trench 5, but all the levels that are located on the southern part of Mount 1 are represented by levels of a Zakir period, third period, and the second period of Indus civilization. Therefore, we move towards the north, where a lower plateau and some gullies give us immediate access to the architectures of the first period. So the main difference that we have generally is that all first period architecture is in mud brick, except for the water-related structures, which of course are in a majority of fire brick. The second period architecture is mostly in fire brick, and it has some common points with second period. Of course, we do not observe always an abandonment phase. This depends on the area of the site, but what we see is that they will basically erase the top of the level of first period occupation and settle in the air. So sometimes you have some pits, mainly trench pits, which are using the space of the previous architecture. So once again, by identifying these first levels of the Indus civilization here, what we are showing or proving is that the so-called mud brick platforms that are supposed to be built to isolate the Indus cities from the floods, they in fact do not exist. This, at least on the site of Chanhu Daro. Other sites may give different results, but the explanation may seem logical. So during these 8 seasons of excavation, Chanhu Daro site has shown mastercraft production of bead ornaments, and also the tools that have been produced here for the fabrication itself of the ornaments. The Chanhu Daro people are controlling every step of the production process, and this production process is compartmented, meaning that the process of fabrication is not controlled only by one person. Different steps of the production of a bead, for example, are distributed on the space. Thus, the complete stones will be stored in one area, then they will preformated in another area, then polish, and going on towards further steps in the production. So this year, the main result here was the discovery in this area of a workshop related to the estetite production. So the estetite is a stone which is very soft, a little bit harder than talc, but this stone, once it's heated, it gets a white color, which is characteristic of the estetite beads which are found in Chanhu Daro. Mostly the discoidal beads that go from diameters of more than 15 millimeters up to really small formats, micro beads, which are 1 or 2 millimeters with very small perforations. So what we found here is that in every room of this area we have a different step of the production process. Some areas are used for cutting, other areas are used for heating, others for perforating, and others for polishing. So this was an hypothesis that we established a few years ago based on previous excavation here in Chanhu Daro, but in fact this year the data is confirming this. And it's important to say that Chanhu Daro is no longer a city with workshops. The city is a workshop itself. There is no differentiation between, there is not exact limit between the working areas and the living areas. The meaning of the city to be, the reason to be, is the craft production.
Okay. Hey. Yes! Yeah! Okay, move.